Namaste and welcome. This is a video about celibacy and semen retention, um, how it is helping in meditation and in the process of Kundalini awakening. Celibacy, when I started doing this, I'm a celibate since 8 months. And when I started thinking about it, like 1 year ago, the more I think about it, the more I'm not able to do it. This is how it began for me. Initial first 3 months was uh, like my attempt to, like, in my mind, it's like it's a conflict. I had a conflict, like, do I want to be a celibate? Because I had a pretty I was very active sexually with my wife, with my ex-wife now, at that time, like last year or one and a half year ago. And but after that, I had this conflict going on. Like, I need to seek spirituality for sure. When Kundalini started like rising, I didn't even know that that's happening to me. That Kundalini is awakening within me. I just thought that I'm having a bad time in my life. That's how everything is falling apart. Like, my relationship was like fell apart, and I had to, like, shut down myself, and things are not going the way I thought they would go after I got married, and it's just not happening. And not even in a way where it is like okay to say that everyone would have problems in their married life and in their relationships, but this is way different and deeper because I married a narcissist, and it's a whole different game. It's like, so the conflict was there. After I'm relieved from my relationship, then seeking someone else sexually, due to my active sexual life with my partner at the time. Um, that just suddenly cut off. So it's like that part of me was just dead now. It's when we end relationships abruptly, a part of us just dies. That's how we feel this pain and this grieving and all that. Because we are used to certain way of cuddling, certain way of making love and thinking about it, and all of that is gone now. That whole thing is gone. So when I was processing all that, I thought about being a celibate and falling back into my thoughts again. It's like this up, and because I was also oscillating, I've had some good sexual experiences with other people, but still the mind, the Kundalini was awakening. It's like in that zone, it is keeping me these thoughts of divinity and this thoughts of me going deeper into meditation to find myself was strengthening deep within, and the oscillation was there. And then I decided, what, let's try semen retention. The more I tried, the more I failed. It took complete control over me. Like, it's not happening. Seriously, it's not happening. So then I said, what, I gotta let this thing. After 3-4 months, I let that thing go. Then my real celibacy began. In the sense, once I relieved myself from the idea of me being a celibate might help me spiritually, I let that go. I just completely let it go. I was like, all right, this is not happening the way I want it to happen, so I gotta surrender here. So once I let it go, I normally fell into celibacy. It's not like I had to practice it, but I just fell into it. It's like you're just doing it because your Kundalini is rising. It is like killing your old self. You're dying. Really, you're dying. Your rebirth is happening in a slow process in Kundalini awakening. That's exactly what's going to happen when the Kundalini is rising. It's gonna be tough. There will be dark side when the Kundalini is awakening. I'll make a video on dark side of awakening, of Kundalini awakening, and how it goes. And why it is highly important and how to deal with it when we are in that zone, because that can be devastating. It's kind of like it'll crush you down for sure, because you're literally dying. Your old self is dying and your mind is clinging to the dying old self, and it's a really tough thing to handle at the time. And yeah, so I generally fell into that. Like after I let this thing go, I just fell into celibacy normally. But the thoughts were there. The thoughts, the craving of sexual desires, and meeting someone who is compatible to me and having great sex, and these were always there. These were there even now. Sometimes in the morning, I get these thoughts, like finding a partner sexually. It's because I had these memories from the past, but those are not the same now, because I was a whole different person. Probably 1 year ago was an entirely different person. So, but when I fell into this thing, what happened was the thoughts were there, but my Kundalini awakening took me to places where I just don't have that kind of the level of how much time I spend in my mind thinking about having a sexual experience with a woman. It's the percentage got lower and lower because I diverted my focus into meditation. It just normally happened. Into spirituality, into health foods, it just normally just routed there. So, and I'm like, all right, this is then when I see someone who is beautiful, the moment I start running my mind, okay, I think she's beautiful. I think I should go check her out, or just like talk with her, or just ask her out or date or something. The moment this occurs, there is a second kind of mind, which I call a Buddhist mind, which I have since childhood, which I compressed it. Because that's other way of living completely, living like a monk and all that. So, and that side will come up and tell me, do you really want this right now? Like, are you gonna be the person who gonna judge a person by seeing the cover of the book, or do you want to see the content of the book? Like these things come up whenever this clash happens. This, I can't call it a crash, but it's kind of like contemplation in my own mind happens whenever I'm giving importance to someone else who is beautiful, looking outer beauty, not inner beauty, because I'm not even like, I didn't even take a step to get close to her, to at least say hi and to know who that person is. This is me just looking at someone at a distance. So all this contemplation kept me busy, which also led me to the point what I really want. What am I really seeking? Where is the desire of this sex coming from? Where is the desire to mate with someone coming from? It took me into those zones of contemplation with myself that occupied my time a lot. Then normally I isolated myself, and I'm still in my isolation, which I'm damn fucking enjoying. It is nothing like it. I really like my aloneness, and it's not like I'm getting used to it. There will be a time I'll go out and talk to people, I know that. But this is the time this after like 1.5 year of this, probably 2.5 years, 2 to 2.5 years of this heavy hitting of Kundalini. When it rises, your old self is dying. It is so hard to deal with it. So all the thing is gone now. So now I'm trying to handle it better, and it's getting better every day. Every day, it's like I'm feeling this bliss and all that. So I'm trying to see where I can route all these things, in the sense what do I really want to do with my life from now on. Celibacy definitely helped. It is an amazing help. It's like I can't even describe, because the energy we have with semen retention and celibacy, it can be intense if we don't know how to use that properly. Once I got into meditation, it normally fell into a place where initial first month was tough, but after that I just fell into it, and then seriously I continued working on my meditation every day and thinking about spiritual life and meditation, this became the pattern in my mind. This became like an interest, not a pattern, but just an interest of going deeper into meditation every day and seeing what happened in yesterday's meditation, how much time it took me to be in meditation. We can call something like with the attempt of meditation. We cannot call the attempt of meditation as meditation. If you're trying to be in meditation for 1 hour, maybe like if you are in meditation, that might be a couple of minutes actually in that entire hour. So so for me, I'm like scaling that thing, how far I went and how much time I took, how my mind was wandering, and how much time, what kind of situations in my mind took me to a place where I cannot pull my mind back, and how much time it took my mind to pull it back to the present, to the meditation, and focus on the thing. And these things kept me occupied every day in my life. And also I was working at the time, and the work situation and spirituality, and also what I really want to do, because I lost interest in the job I'm doing in IT, and it was complete loss. It's just not like it's a permanent leaving the job. It's not going back again. It's that way. So it's not like it is like it might be scary to people. It's like you worked a lot. You had like 10 years of work experience in a field, and you had your master's degree in something, and you put all the time, and you just lost interest in all of it now completely. So it was at the time, it was, I couldn't understand this. Like, why am I losing interest? I thought this is my interest in IT. I was into IT security. So what's going on? Like, how can I, like, it's just the interest just fell. And I forced myself to get my interest back. It's not happening. It's the more I did that, the more I'm repelling the work. So all these things came up, but the energy of my semen retention and my celibacy is a big support for me. It's like a pole which I can hang to strongly, because I needed that energy, because it kind of like all your mental energy, your physical energy, you diverted into the thing you wanted. That's what happened when I fell into celibacy. Uh, and I kept myself away from women for sure, because I didn't go out at all, even though my friends were like inviting me to places. I just didn't go. Just like it just nah. I know it's gonna be a disturbance in my mind again if I go out. And some of my friends just fell because I'm not even like touching, not even like being in touch and just like saying hi or something, or going to the places they go. And that's kind of like I lost a group of friends over there. So it's just like they just fell. So, and also when Kundalini is awakening, you'll see who you real people are. Who you'll see who you really were meant to be with. Your friends, your family. It gives you so much attention to detail. Like once you are into celibacy, your energy is with you now completely. It's not leaking anywhere. Especially with semen retention, if you're doing it, it can get overwhelming if you don't know how to use it properly with meditation, and you're doing semen retention. It might give like agitation, panic attacks for the people who are in that state of mind. It'll make it more agitated, and it might happen, because in the initially for the when I was trying to do it so hard, it's like I'm making it hard on myself. So once I let that go, then once I removed the idea that I don't care about being a celibate, then I just fell into that automatically. It's weird, right? I don't know. Yeah, it's and that definitely did help me, because your whole energy in your body, in your mind, and when you channel that to something, whatever that thing is, it'll enhance. it'll yield information to you, because your whole energy, you are putting it in a place of attention and focusing on something, whatever your interest is. That'll definitely expand, and that'll yield information for you. You'll get intelligent, or you'll have this intelligent way of understanding that subject in depth. So that started happening. I'm going into meditation where, when I did my vipassana meditation, um, on the second day I entered a samadhi state, which I was not even expecting that. I don't even know. I heard what samadhi state is, but that is whatever I heard about samadhi, that is a very deep state. That's the state where people laid in that state for weeks, and for like, a couple of weeks, they just didn't even move in that state. So this is in my mind about samadhi, and but we can get glimpses of it. We can get glimpses where your whole being will be shaken. I was like shaken for 2 days. I was in this entire different zone. Like, there are people around me, but no one is existing for me. I was in this divine space for 2 days after just 1 or 2 hours in that, whatever the time I experienced my samadhi. So, in my view, the celibacy and the semen retention definitely helped it. It's unbelievable to me. Like, it's when people say about how semen retention can help you and celibacy can help you, I really experienced it. It works if you know how to channel, if you know how to like put that energy into a direction where you want to go. You don't even have to consciously focus that energy into something. The more you are interested in something, and this your focus goes there intensely, celibacy will happen normally, in my view, because that's the case for me. My view was to go deeper into meditation, and my view was to I needed a tool to really dig into myself in the aloneness I have. This is a very precious time for me. Anyone who is alone with themselves, and in meditation and in yoga, that's a very precious time. We gotta use the time. And also, that might not last for a long time, because the willpower always fluctuates. It'll go high, it'll go down, it'll go high, whenever we have the will, whenever we are in the space, try to use the time. Like, every minute, it's very precious. So I took it in that way, and I took it, or probably my energies put me there, the Kundalini put me there, and all the situations came together, and just like, and yeah, it did. It definitely did help me. And still, there will be pulls. Even there is like 8 months of me being a celibate. When I go out and meet people, and there was this, I broke my I was in silence for a long time, like 3 months, I guess. I spoke with 1 or 2 people only for like once every 2 weeks for like a couple of hours. That's all. For the entire probably 3 to 3.5 months, I was in that zone before I even attempted vipassana. So it's like all this period, almost like 4 month period of my not talking with many people, and also to myself. Just in that, I silenced myself. That and silencing yourself, and with your semen retention or celibacy, it's gonna push your energy upwards. Your Kundalini is gonna rise, and you will have the strength to face it. This is the one awesome thing with semen retention or celibacy, because you will definitely have the energy to face the deeper levels of meditation, because it can shock you. If you enter samadhi and you don't know what it is, then your breathing gets tighter. There are many things which will happen before you enter the samadhi, and your mind cannot understand what samadhi is, because you transcend it to somewhere. It is not physical. It is not perceived by the senses. Your senses is completely stopped. It's an amazing place to be. It's like you touched the divine living within you. You just touched it. So all the enlightened people, they stayed in that state for days and months. So me, I just had that spoonful of taste of it, like, oh my god, this is what meditation is all about. This is what all the ancient people are ancient people are just writing about it, or trying to give this information to the yuga which we are in, to the time of cycle which we are in, to assist our consciousness, the raising of the human consciousness in this time. They're so ahead of us. The way the people who wrote all these things, and the yogis and the enlightened masters, their thinking is way ahead, and I can understand. I just got the taste of it because, for an example, Buddha talked about getting, like, his technique vipassana would get, or this meditativeness, this zeal for meditation will grow higher after 2500 years. He told that 2500 years ago, that human race would be here, where there would be no bending over backwards for the gurus. Your guru would be like a friend to you. You are in that state of consciousness. If you go 25 years ago, people will see Buddha as a god, not like an enlightened person. So his view, he was so ahead of thinking that he took that 2500 years forward and told that this is the time which gonna flourish again, and the next 5000 years from now it's gonna be a golden period. So there are many things. Once we get into meditation, we can understand enlightened masters, and all of us has the equal capability to become an enlightened master, to become a Buddha. There is no doubt in that. That's all they want you to do. That's all all the enlightened masters want us to see that and taste it, that you have the ability to become that. Do not distance yourself from the greatness. Don't put Buddha as like a big statue in your head and distance yourself that, okay, I can never have that. So that's not what they teach. They want all the people like them. Like, they want people who are enlightened walking on the streets beside you. like 60-70% of people are enlightened. It's gonna be awesome. It's happening. It'll take some time, couple hundred years, probably 500 years or something from now, but it'll happen slowly. The rise is happening. So yeah, definitely this did help me. And if you're thinking to do semen retention and celibacy, if you're in meditation, I will highly recommend to do that. Because if you are a person who are seeking to go deeper into yourself and know your real self, then that's the way to go. Until the point where, for me, this is what I'm thinking right now. It might change anytime, because I try to live as not planned as possible. I'm excited for the unknown than the known. So whenever I get this feeling of getting out of celibacy, I will know exactly, because this is not me to have an experience of a sexual experience. I'm in a state of giving. I'm in a state where I want to give something to the other person, not take it from her. So, and if I find a person who has the same intention as I have, like she want to give me, or she want to be in a place where we both are giving to each other, not pulling each other, or not having, it's like I'm not trying to how can I say this, like ejaculate or have a happy ending or something like that. I'm not trying to get something. I'm trying to give in this relationship, or when I seek a sexual experience, because it can charge the Kundalini energy and can circulate the Kundalini energy between two people when both people are aware, when both people's awareness is at a certain high. Then just sitting and looking into each other can be so intense without even having an intercourse. I know how I can feel that, because this knowledge download will happen with Kundalini after you pass the dark zone. There is a dark zone. That's when you go down, completely like restructuring yourself, that will be hard because you're breaking apart. This, you'll feel this crushing burden of helplessness. After that zone is gone, then it's like it's everything will be clear. Okay, this is what it happened for, and that is needed for us to be here. It's a blessing. Everything is a blessing. A disease will become a blessing. A disability will become a blessing. A person rejecting you will become a blessing. And all the things which you thought, that the things which are not going in your life as it should go, they will turn to your benefit. But we are not at the point to see it yet. That's all. When we are in the dark zone, we were just. This is what my idea of dark zone is, to be put in one single sentence. Unless you go to the dark side of your own soul, you cannot find your own light. You just can't do that. You don't know that you have a light yet. That's how we are. This whole situation of rising consciousness is pushing us down into the dark zone so that you can face your problems, you can face your fears, you can face all the things which you think they should be running like this. You face all your problems and everything in that zone. Once you get past, once you surrender to that, your pain will become your teacher. Because my pain became my greatest teacher, to be honest. It started teaching me when I started surrendering that, okay, I surrendered now, I can't take it anymore. I cannot control this. I don't have any ability to deal with this other than surrendering. When I did that, I'm open to grace. My whole being is open to grace, and it's like, it's amazing. The way Kundalini arose in my personality, there were shocking moments. There were these jolts of energy for days, and there were many situations. It went on for a couple of years. But one single experience where I had when I surrendered to my pain, when I closed my eyes and these tears of bliss coming out in the deepest pain I'm having, that just blew my mind. Like, how is this happening? The bliss and this pain, and that I'm just crying down there, and it's like I'm in tears of joy with the realization of my own self. For the very first time, I met myself, and I tasted myself. How did I not see this before in this entire life? So when all this happened, and but I didn't know that this is Kundalini is rising, and this is helping me to evolve. And it took me many years, like, to understand that this is what going on since past couple of years, few years or 5 years or something. It will begin with a very subtle process. It'll begin with a very subtle thing. It'll become intense and intense and intense and intense and intense. And to the point it'll grab your whole attention. It'll turn your whole life upside down so that you'll focus on yourself. It'll happen. Yeah, so celibacy is an awesome thing. It's an incredible thing if we are in that, and once we taste the benefit of celibacy and semen retention, it's gonna be a little hard to go back again. because you're used to certain level of intelligence and certain level of heightenedness in your awareness, and you don't want to lose that. But once we are ready, once you find a person who is working on herself or himself to the point where they are also in the same path and they know themselves better. There are a lot of fake people out there. They're fake. They had Kundalini experiences. They fake everything. We can literally see that. We can totally see that. They put their Kundalini in their middle name, last name, first name, and it's like the Facebook page is Kundalini, whatever. It's like the people who really tasted what Kundalini is, you look into their eyes. You look into their eyes. Seriously, see that. If you had a Kundalini rising, and you were looking to find more people like that or find information on it, you'll feel that from that person. When Kundalini rises, it will make you humble. It will make you humble. There will be a certain level of intelligence or innocence which comes with that. There will be no sense of danger, or not danger, but how can I say? it's kind of like when you see the person, you intuitively you will know that that person is hiding something, or that person is, it just doesn't feel clean to you. Everything, the whole video, or the person you met, the whole talk might be better, but internally you will not feel it right. You'll just have that bling, that level, that intelligence telling you that, okay, this is not, nah, I don't want to go with that. So listen to that, listen to your intuition very well, because it's telling you something which we might not know at this point, but given some time, following that person for some time, or talking or researching, you'll understand it, why your intuition will told you that, okay, this person is not right for me. The very first thing will happen when Kundalini process is awakening is their outer appearance will fall. It is meant to be like that. You cannot, no one can focus when their focus is on inner divinity. They cannot focus on outward appearance. It'll fall. This is the first sign, because and there will be a bling, and there will be a surrenderance, there will be bling in the eye. I mean, the eye, their eyes glow. It's not like, you can feel that. So, and there will be softness in the voice, because Kundalini is a feminine energy. Even a man, even for a man, when it arises, it'll happen. The calmer they are, you can really see how they move when their body is moving, when their heads are moving, when they're talking. You can see the pattern of the mind, how they are thinking. It'll happen. Your intelligence will rise when with Kundalini. It'll give you certain abilities. Your intuition will grow higher, and these are the common benefits with Kundalini rising, because you're evolving into a better and more into a better person than who you are before. Your abilities will rise too with that. And I see a lot of fake people out there talking about Kundalini experiences, and who also use all this new age bullshit to get them into the zone of thinking. Because see, the people who are empaths are the people who generally, like the people who are especially empathetic, and also people who are mentally little weaker in that time, not just like whole time, just they are going through something where they cannot understand or like, guess what's going on with the other person. Is that person is right or wrong for them? So in that point of time, they tend to go to people who are offering free Reiki, who are offering free that and free this, and they go into that, and they'll fall into the trap of whatever they're saying. Because the fake people who are talking about Kundalini and their awakening process and all that, it's all very well structured words. They're structured for a very well reason. They know what you believe in. They know a set of people, how they fall into their traps. So it's like, because their living is on that. They want some people to fall into those traps so that they can do whatever whatever the crap they're doing on the name of Reiki and the spiritual awakening, Kundalini awakening, whatever they're doing. It's they're earning money with that. So, and they're dependent on that. Real Kundalini, the people who had Kundalini awakening, will take time. They can't just go on offering help to people, because they are in a state of confusion. First of all, it needs to be clear. It'll take at least 5 to 10 years for us to understand this thing, unless you have a very proper guidance with an enlightened master or something who can teach you what's going on. If you are working in a job, and if you're having if you have a family with kids, and your Kundalini is awakening, it will take a lot of time. It will take time. It will take a good amount of research, because we have to balance the family life and also what's going on with us, and not able to think clear when it's awakening. All these things will happen. So this is my my advice: to be safe out there when you are, because whatever we are taking, whatever the information we are taking from from the videos and all that, you're feeding your mind, and your mind is like a mirror. The more we feed it, the more it'll get confused with all those different things. Initial education would be there. Initially you need to, like, go and watch videos and see what Kundalini rising is and how people are dealing with it. Yeah, but once there is a certain stage for that. After you're done with the stage, I would advise not to, like, go just scanning the whole YouTube about all the videos, and please don't try not to do that, because it'll create more confusion for you, because your mind will compare this with that and that with this, and it just mirrors everything. It'll create more confusion. It'll delay the process, and that confusion removes your clarity, and it'll take a lot of time for you to come back to the zone again. So yeah, this is my view on some of the things I encountered when I'm trying to find more information. But definitely there are people who are enlightened masters, whose Kundalini was awakened. When they talk about it, you try to listen to them, because they are talking from their own experience. Then they had a proper guru who guided them, teacher or someone who guided them, and they were in the zone of spirituality since the very young age, or to when they were children. If we take J. Krishnamurti spoke about Kundalini awakening. Sadhguru spoke about Kundalini awakening. There are many people who spoke about Kundalini awakening who are also enlightened. So if you listen to them, they'll tell you how to deal with this. Where they don't go with much information, but at least you'll know what the real Kundalini awakening is. No one can miss it, for sure. It's not something. When it begins, it'll begin. It'll rise. There's no stopping it. We can't put it down and just, like, go to our old life again. It'll never happen. It doesn't meant to happen like that. So yeah, be safe out there, and I hope my video helped you guys. Celibacy and semen retention was one of the biggest strength I had in my journey so far. So I'll try to continue this as long as I can, till I find the right partner, where our thoughts and our things are aligned in a way where, okay, we are doing it consciously, we are doing it with attention, we are doing it with high awareness when we are making love to each other. Until then, I'll try not to go there. Even when the thoughts are happening, when the pulls are happening, when I'm getting pulled towards it, I let that happen. I sit with my closed eyes, or lay down on my bed, and I let that whatever the thoughts are coming down with intensity, or whatever the sexual feelings I have, I let them happen but not react. I just lay down and just let the whole thing go. What happens is, when we not react to those cravings, all the old cravings will go with that, and it'll become less and less. And when you do this, there is freedom attached to this thing. It's vipassana. It's also vipassana. If we do this thing, there'll be, like, all your old cravings which you don't want right now, which is hindering your spiritual seeking, will generally wash away with it. So I wish you all the very best, and lots of love to you. Thank you.